Hello, I'm Piracy, your little fire flower. I hope you enjoy this video on the first season of One Piece. Now, I know the first season of the One Piece was originally aired at the end of the 90s, but until I reached my Twitch follower goal of 500, I hadn't even watched a single episode because I prejudged its goofy art style. I mean, look at these faces. Those are some pretty ugly looking faces for an anime. I mean, who were they trying to attract with faces like this? Or was it about being unique at a glance, like with the whole Simpsons being yellow instead of flesh tones? Or were they trying to say something? Because if they are trying to say something, at this stage it's lost on me. I mean, a simplistic art style didn't stop me from watching Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and regrettably Dragon Ball GT in their entirety well before now. And I got into Fairy Tail so much I have my own Fairy Tail emblem tattooed on my leg. I also feel the need to inform you that, please don't hold this against me, but, I watch dubbed anime. Wait, please don't click away just because of that. I do have a good reason. I have dyslexia, which means in order for me to watch a subbed anime, in order for me to follow and make sure I've read it as intended, I'm having to pause and usually backtrack, which means that the animation, the score, the voice acting, the pace, and the passion are all lost. So that I can digest the anime as the art of anime deserves, I watch dubbed, which means three things. One, I can follow what's happening in the story a lot better, so I get to enjoy the story's text and subtext, even though some of it was probably rewritten by localizers who should die in a fire. Two, I get to enjoy the voice acting, sound effects, and music. And three, I get to have and enjoy the feels, the emotions, pacing, the gravitas, which grants me a far better viewing experience than if I was constantly having to stop, start, and backtrack. Which, don't get me wrong, on certain anime I do. Like, for my favourite anime, Interspecies Reviewers, because there was no other option of viewing because I got hooked on the first episode and they stopped dubbing it. Or the occasional OVA that tragically never got a dubbing, like the story of Rurouni Kenshin and how he got his iconic scar. It is in this moment that I ask that we separate art from artist, because I really appreciate the beautiful yet tragic story. And I can't even think about the artist without the feeling of rage from what he did. I mean, it makes me physically ill. It was CP. But that doesn't remove what I feel when I think about the story. But let's get away from that whole dumpster fire of a tangent and back to what we're talking about at the moment, which is One Piece. As far as how much I enjoyed Season 1 of One Piece, well, I did. I enjoyed it. The way that every member of Luffy's crew gets the time to be introduced in an organic and well-distributed amount of the season is very impressive, especially because it goes into the inspirations and what drives them. This shows me that the writer either liked or believed in the story that they were telling. The thing that One Piece, Dragon Ball, and Fairy Tail all have in common are similar recurring character traits, like how Goku, Natsu, and Luffy all have extreme amounts of appetite, ambition, and belief in themselves, which makes me wonder if these three traits are almost used as building blocks for a compelling shonen character for an anime that focuses on a group of personalities. Using utter destruction to help solve a problem and save people is something that One Piece, Volume 1, Dragon Ball Z, and Fairy Tail also have in common. But the goal of friendship is a sentiment that it shares with Fairy Tail more than Dragon Ball or even My Hero Academia. I think that One Piece keeps on reminding me of Dragon Ball. Probably has more to do with when it was written and voice acted than the art style. This might be why Bucky the Pirate Clown reminds me of Emperor Pilaf. But one thing that really stood out to me that I liked was how they established the way that they introduced a character, almost down to a formula. Then they subverted it with the intro to Nami, who had been there all along in a hard-hitting narrative. The whole Millennium Dragon storyline shows me that One Piece really has the potential of doing what Fairy Tail is well known for, the feels. But it's not there yet. It definitely has the potential to become that hard-hitting though. One thing that surprised me about the whole storyline is that it didn't lead to a new crew member, which also subverted the story patterns established earlier in the season. It shows me that each story becomes the inspiration for another story, although hitting similar notes along the way. Art of creating interesting and compelling characters is growing, and I look forward to seeing the stories it brings. But as a lover of the whole Fairy Tail story, at this stage, Fairy Tail is better. But I am going to keep watching One Piece. This next bit, I couldn't work out where to put it in the video, so I decided to put it on the end, okay? And that is, in watching this season of anime, I came up with a theory about One Piece. And I want to share it with you guys before I continue watching the series. That way we all know if my first theory was accurate or not. My theory is that Luffy's father or sperm donor was the king of the pirates that stashed the One Piece. But that's just a theory. An anime theory. Sorry about that, I couldn't help myself. Thank yous for watching, and please like, comment and subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this from me. Or if you have any advice on me doing this type of video again, I'd really appreciate it. I'm your little Fireflower, Pyra Z. See you next time.